Hello students, today's topic is Beer-Lambert law and its significance. First, introduction. When light passes through a medium, some of the light energy may be absorbed in addition to other processes such as scattering, surface reflectance, etc. If there is a fractional absorption of energy, then the medium is called a transparent medium to that particular radiation. When a portion of the radiation is absorbed from a passing continuous radiation through a transparent substance, the absorbed wavelengths are found absent in the residual radiation spectrum. The Beer-Lambert law is the linear relationship between absorbance, concentration of an absorbing species, and the path length of the medium. Modern absorption instruments based on Beer-Lambert law usually display the data as either transmittance or absorbance. An unknown concentration of an analyte can be determined by measuring the amount of light that a sample absorbs by applying Beer-Lambert law. First, the simple theory of the absorption of light by molecules. Light in its wave aspect consists of mutually perpendicular electric and magnetic fields which oscillate sinusoidally as they are propagated through space. The energy E of the wave is E is equal to Ic by lambda is equal to h mu, where h is the Planck's constant, c is the velocity of light, lambda is the wavelength, and mu is the frequency. When such a wave encounters a molecule, it can be either scattered, that is, its direction of propagation changes, or absorbed, that is, its energy is transferred to the molecule. The relative probability of the occurrence of its process is a property of the particular molecule encountered. If the electromagnetic energy of the light is absorbed, the molecule is said to be excited or in an excited state. This excitation energy is usually converted into heat, that is, into kinetic energy, by the collision of the excited molecule with another molecule, for example, a solvent molecule. With some molecules, it is re-emitted as fluorescence. In both cases, the intensity of the light transmitted by a collection of chromophores is less than the intensity of the incident light. An excited molecule can possess any one of a set of discrete amounts, that is, quanta of energy described by the laws of quantum mechanics. These amounts are called the energy levels of the molecule. The absorption of energy is most probable only if the amount absorbed corresponds to the difference between energy levels. This can be expressed by stating that light of wavelength lambda can be absorbed only if lambda equals h times c divided by E2 minus E1, in which E1 is the energy level of the molecule before absorption and E2 is the energy level reached after absorption. Lambda is equal to Ic by E2 minus E1. A change between energy levels is called a transition, and mechanically, a transition between electronic energy levels represents the energy required to move an electron from one orbit to another. Next, we come to the principles of Beer-Lambert law. The Beer-Lambert law is a combination of two laws, each dealing separately with the absorption of light related to the concentration of the absorber, the substance responsible for absorbing the light, and the path length or thickness of the layer related to the absolute amount of the absorber. When light or electromagnetic radiation falls on an absorbing substance or analyte, and if it is partially transparent, it will transmit a portion of the incident radiation. The ratio of the intensities of transmitted and incident light gives the transmittance, which is expressed as T, and this T is equal to I by I naught, where I naught is the intensity of incident radiation and I is the intensity of transmitted radiation. Note that the intensity is the number of photons interacting in unit time, that is in seconds. 100% value of T represents a totally transparent substance with no radiation being absorbed, whereas a 0 value of T represents a totally opaque substance which in effect represents complete absorption. For intermediate values, we can define the absorbance A or extinction E, which is given by the logarithm, that is to the base 10 of the reciprocal of the transmittance. A is equal to E is equal to log of 1 by T is equal to log of I naught by I. Absorbance was earlier known as optical density or OD, but continued use of this term should be discouraged. Also, as absorbance is a logarithm, it is by definition unitless and has a range of values from 0 to infinity. However, the use of the term absorbance is incorrect when the instrument is based on light scattering rather than absorption. This situation is commonly encountered in the estimation of bacterial cell numbers or measurements on isolated organelles. It is for this reason that the microbiologists continue to use the term optical density for cell count studies. In such studies, the more correct term is attenuance, which is given the symbol D. Attenuance reduces to absorbance when there is negligible light scattering. UV visible spectroscopy. UV visible spectroscopy is an important tool in analytical chemistry. The other name of UV, that is ultraviolet spectroscopy, is electronic spectroscopy, as it involves the promotion of the electrons from the ground state to the higher state or excited state. UV spectroscopy is a type of absorption spectroscopy in which light of UV region, that is from 200 to 400 nanometer, is absorbed by the molecule and results in the excitation of the electrons from the ground state to higher energy state. The energy of the UV radiation that are absorbed is equal to the energy difference between the ground state and higher energy state. Generally, the most favored transition is from the highest occupied molecular orbital to lowest unoccupied molecular orbital. For most of the molecules, the lowest energy occupied molecular orbitals are s orbital, which correspond to sigma bonds. The p orbitals are somewhat higher energy levels. The orbitals, that is non-bonding orbitals with unshared pair of electrons, lie at higher energy levels. The unoccupied or anti-bonding orbitals, that is pi and sigma, are the highest energy occupied orbitals. In all the compounds other than alkanes, the electrons undergo various transitions. Some of the important transitions with increasing energies are non-bonding to pi, non-bonding to sigma, pi to pi, sigma to pi, and sigma to sigma. Now we come to the principle of UV spectrophotometry. UV spectrophotometry obeys the Beard-Lambert law, which states that when a beam of monochromatic light is passed through a solution of an absorbing substance, the rate of decrease of intensity of radiation with thickness of the absorbing solution is proportional to the incident radiation as well as the concentration of the solution. From the Beard-Lambert law, it is clear that greater the number of molecules capable of absorbing light of a given wavelength, the greater the extent of light absorption. This is the basic principle of UV spectroscopy. Now, applications of UV spectroscopy. First, we have qualitative and quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis may be performed in the UV visible regions to identify certain classes of compound both in the pure state and in biological mixtures, for example proteins, nucleic acids, cytochromes and chlorophylls. Quantitative analysis may be performed by making use of the fact that certain chromophores, for example the aromatic amino acids in proteins and the heterocyclic bases in nucleic acids, absorb at specific wavelengths. Proteins may be measured at 280 nanometer and nucleic acids at 260 nanometer, although corrections are usually necessary to account for interfering substances. If the ratio of the absorbances of the interfering substance is known for the remote and test wavelengths, then the correction is simple. For example, the absorbance at 280 and the absorbance at 260 ratio for proteins in the presence of nucleic acid. Next, we have difference spectra. A difference spectrum is the difference between two absorption spectra. There are essentially two ways in which difference spectra may be obtained. First, indirectly, by subtraction of one absolute spectrum from another. Secondly, that is directly, by placing one compound in the reference cell and the other in the test cuvette. Difference spectrophotometry has the advantage of enabling the detection of small absorbance changes in a system with a high background absorbance. An example of this kind of investigation is the measurement of changes in the oxidation state of components of the respiratory chain in intact mitochondria and chloroplasts. Next, we have binding spectra. Binding spectra or substrate binding spectra may be used to study the extent of interaction between an enzyme and its substrate. Valuable structural studies may be performed on some particular biological macromolecules such as proteins and nucleic acids. In proteins, a change in the polarity of a solvent in which the protein is dissolved changes the spectrum of a particular amino acid chromophore without changing the conformation of the protein. This phenomenon is known as solvent perturbation, and obviously, to be accessible to the solvent, the amino acid residue must be on the surface of the protein. The aromatic amino acids are powerful chromophores in the ultraviolet. Processes such as denaturation, which includes unfolding of a polypeptide chain by pH, temperature, and ionic strength can be monitored as more of these residues become exposed to the incident radiation. Also, the denaturation of the helical structure of DNA in solution may be investigated when the double-stranded DNA is heated through its melting temperature. The extinction at 260 nanometer increases, that is, it has hyperchromic shift on denaturation, and decreases again, that is, it has hypochromic shift on renaturation, which occurs on cooling. Effects on the secondary structure of DNA by pH and ionic strength may be studied in a similar way. Next, we have action spectra. In certain situations, an action spectrum may be shown as a plot of a physiological, that is, non-extinction parameter against wavelength. In many complex biological systems, such a spectrum often corresponds to the absorption spectrum of a single key compound. An example is the plotting of the rate of oxygen evolution by green plant tissues against the wavelength of light used to irradiate the system. This results in a graph similar to the spectrum of the chlorophylls. After all these discussions, we can conclude that laws related to the absorption of light in the UV and visible region of the electromagnetic spectrum has been developed, and UV visible spectroscopy is based on these laws. These regions of the electromagnetic spectrum and their associated techniques are widely used for both routine analytical work and research into biological problems. Absorbance measurements are usually carried out to identify certain classes of compounds which has unique absorbance values, for example, proteins, nucleic acids, cytochromes and chlorophylls, both in the pure state and in biological mixtures. Similarly, different spectra, binding spectra and action spectra are used to study and follow many processes and complex biological systems.